City. Tin City is a collection of shops, boutiques, restaurants, so called because of the galvanized metal building material, popular in Florida for the last 100 plus years. There are about 3 or 4 restaurants here. 2 of the favorites are Pinter's Crab Shack directly in front of us. And over to the right is Riverwalk Fish and Ale in that other entrance there. We can squeeze 2 people on, can't we? Naples Trolley has used the, for instance, we used them this past Christmas for an annual Christmas party. And we've had the last, well, maybe 3 times the last 3 or 4 years. There goes the little MG. Maybe we'll see him in a minute. Does anyone know who Dr. Robert Cook is?
The writer.
He's the writer, yes. He's an ophthalmologist. There's a little 2-seater MG, and he's got sitting in the seat beside him a camel.
He wrote Coma.
You what?
He wrote Coma.
Yeah. What? You know? I thought he did too. Are you sure he did?
Yeah.
Because I watched Coma the other night, and I saw the credits, and his name wasn't given. Maybe he used a pseudonym or something anyway. But he's a very good author of medical mystery thrillers. He's a retired ophthalmologist surgeon. And he rides around town with that camel sitting on the seat beside him. He's got a cranking turn to make the camel wave to leave it. Dr. Cook rides around and dresses that camel up. At Christmas time, he'll put a rack of antlers on it, put a red suit on it. Last time I saw him up until about 2 weeks ago, the first time I'd seen him almost a year, I didn't know whether he'd moved from here or what, but he had the camel dressed up for St. Patrick's Day, where he had him in all green with a shamrock on his shoulder, a shillelagh. And big oversized sunglasses, he turned that crank in the floor and it makes the camel turn and wave to people. Now if I did that, I'd be crazy as hell. He's just rich enough to be eccentric and get away with it. Marking the entrance into the Gulf of Mexico by way of Wiggins Pass right up there. And down to the left, the tall yellow building is our next stop. That is La Playa. To the left of that, the red roof building with the cupolas on top that you can see through and the pendants on top. That's the Ritz-Carlton. Naples is the only city in the United States to have 2 Ritz-Carltons on the same street. Homes over there across the bay. Single-family homes over here. These are all condos right on the Gulf of Mexico. These are 3/4 owned by snowbirds. The other 25% by year-round residents here. Most of the single-family homes are on avenues off to either side of the bay. Some are accessible down here about a 1/4 mile in front of us by way of one of a couple of avenues going out to the left. There are some 13 homes left on the Gulf of Mexico, single-family homes. Most of them have been pushed down to make way for condominiums. They started right here with this house, and for the most part, these are second-generation homes. Down here with the trucks on the right, this is a 3rd-generation home, to my knowledge, maybe older than that. But I've seen 3 different homes built on this lot since I've been driving the trolley.
Oh, wow.
And just ahead down here, there's a greenhouse that I know to be an original home because I was acquainted with the fellow whose parents built this house 45 years ago. Another single family original, I believe, would be this house. And I make that judgment call because of the architectural style and the brickwork there. This is La Playa on either side of us here, the beach. Sidewalk cafes along the back side here. Up to the right, the copper slab roof of the Naples Grand Hotel. There's a pedestrian tunnel running underneath us right here to get shelters from one side or the other on that little island compound. And now the entire Lunkett family lives there on their own little island. The condominiums he built right here on the left, each color changed, a different ownership. Each 3-story condominium has its own private elevator. That's one of the most was highly photographed and painted scenes in Naples right there. The condominium at the end of the street, the stair steps up and over. That's Admiralty Point, which is on this side of Doctor's Path. As we get up on top of the bridge, if you look down to the right, you will see a couple of red roof condominiums. They are on the other side of Doctor's Path. There's a seawall right at the base of those red roof condos to keep them from slipping into Doctor's Path. To the left of the red roof condos, you see the flags flying down there. We should be at that causeway in about 5 minutes. So we'll have more billionaires per capita than any other metropolitan area in the U.S. A sense of correlation is there. If you play enough golf, you'll become a millionaire. Probably not. Back in the 50s, when lots were plentiful in Naples, even beachfront property was still available.
I remember with
An abundance of it back then. You could buy a lot that would run maybe 1 to 200 front feet along Gulf Shore Boulevard here and go back to the Gulf Beach, 400, 500, 600 feet and more, depending on the meandering of the beach. If you look through here, you'll see an example of one of those large, oversized lots back to the right. Those lots probably sold for $50,000 back then. Kind of a why not? People would put a modest little house on it. They didn't think like they do today. This guy on the left just kind of made up his mind.
Yeah.
Down in Old Naples, about a half mile ahead, you'll see an example with the lots evolved that have a modest home on a rather large lot. And as time evolved, they would sell off the lot. The house would get bulldozed and then build on back of that, cut it into 2, 3, or 4 lots and build 2, 3, or 4 houses on it. Up here at the north end, not so much. If they did bulldoze the house, they might divide the lot, and they might not. If they did divide it, it would only be into 2 lots. One would be with frontage here on Gulf Shore Boulevard, the other one on one of the side streets, looking out over the Gulf of Mexico. 2 blocks ahead down here is Fifth Avenue South, our premier in-city shopping district. 110 yards to the right is the Gulf of Mexico, and 110 miles to the left is Biscayne Bay. You can drive all the way from the Gulf of Mexico to the Atlantic Ocean right here on Fifth Avenue. 2 blocks down to the left is the western end of the Fifth Avenue shopping district.